Gregory of Nazianzen has a particular emphasis upon the life of the Trinity. And the Trinity could become, in Christian thinking, a very dry, a very static kind of image of God, a certain model of God that we have. And I've read Trinitarian theology that just puts you to sleep. It becomes very, very abstract and hair-splitting. But in the way that Gregory understands it, it's a very dynamic model of God. God is not simply a Platonic, and they were all influenced by Plato, the great thinker of the time, the great philosophical influence on all thinkers. But for Plato, God was still, God was unchanging, God was a solid monolith at the highest level. But for Gregory of Nazianzen and for the other two, God is best understood as this communion of love, which is constantly creating itself and constantly overflowing from itself into creation through the work of love. Even more, they speak about the human being as conformed to this, that we are created in the image and likeness of the Trinity. And so we ourselves have this capacity for change, and we have this capacity to be changed into God. Theosis is the key goal of all Christian Christian theology and the Christian meaning of life, that we are intended towards divinization. And that's possible for us because we already have this seed in our own nature. So the Cappadocians give us not only some amazing insights into the nature of God as this experience of love that is constantly renewing and changing, and yet never changing, but also, as a result of that, some profound insights into the capacity of the human, and therefore gives us great hope for the human. We also see in Gregory an emphasis upon how this happens in the soul, that means in the deepest part of the human, because we are, in a way, mirroring. We are a mirror, the soul as a mirror. This is an important image in their mystical theology. And this changes the way we see ourselves. As we think of ourselves as a mirror reflecting the glory of God within us, this takes us beyond the idea of ourselves as an observer or as a separate being. We begin to see that the image and the reality can be united. And it's this henosis, this is the Greek word that they used for union, that this integration of the human then leads to the divinization. And this is a dynamic process. Of course, it occurs over time, over many years, over our lifetime. But they give us a way of understanding human experience in mystical terms, not only psychological terms.